Holy crap. Okay, it's so weird. It has been so long and I'm pregnant AF, but hi. Okay, so I got a new camera. It's really nice. I gotta quit looking at myself. I'll take you in the bathroom so you can see. Like, look at that lighting. Anyways, so here we are. Yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm not gonna stop saying that because it's weird. What I was thinking about doing is just kind of doing a video about how I found out I was pregnant and just how it all went down. Like, it was definitely a very weird experience, and I didn't get to necessarily like share it the way that I always thought I would share like a pregnancy announcement. And going through it, it was and has been one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my whole entire life. But yeah, I'm excited to share and tell you guys like how I found out. I always thought I would be the type of person to like find out I was pregnant and freak out, like scared, but it was so weird, like I didn't. So anyways, I'm gonna tell you the story. I'm gonna tell you how I found out, how I figured it out, what the doctor said, and all the craziness I went through. So let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna start off by talking about how I figured out I was pregnant, because I actually figured it out like way before my first missed period and all of that. Like, it was crazy. It was seriously only a couple days after the day I think I conceived. And I felt so weird. Like, I definitely didn't feel pregnant or anything, but like I could tell my body was like not normal. And then the thing that made me start questioning it was probably like, I'd say like a week and a half after my ovulation, like the day I think I conceived. I woke up and I had 4 pimples, okay? And if you know me, or if you don't, I'm gonna tell you, I've never been the type of person to like get like acne all at once. Like, I'd get like a pimple here and there, but never like more than 1 or 2. I've always been blessed with not having acne, and you probably can still see them on my forehead, but I had like 2 right here, and then I had 1 here and 1 down here, all at the same time. And I was like, that's really weird. Like, why do I have so many pimples, you know? And it kind of like I was like, okay, a little weird, you know, but I wasn't like, you know, I didn't think too much into it. And then the next night I had this like crazy dream. Like, it was so vivid and it was so real, and I just like had a feeling, like I was like, oh my gosh, what if I'm pregnant, you know? So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take a test to be safe, you know, even though it was like so many days before my period was supposed to come. But I went to the store anyways, and I got a pregnancy test and it said negative. But like deep down, I was very doubtful, because I was like, all right, well, it's too early to even take the test. So if this test is right, like, okay, but if it's wrong, you know what I mean? Like, there's a possibility that it's gonna be wrong even if I am pregnant. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wait, you know. And all day I couldn't stop thinking about it. Like, literally all day I was like, what if I'm pregnant? What if I'm pregnant? You know, like, I couldn't get it out of my head, and I couldn't do anything about it because I couldn't like take the test, and I didn't want to go to the hospital and like get blood taken and do all that, like, you know, I just didn't. So I decided to get on Amazon and order those like test strips, because the review said that it'll tell you like 10 days before your missed period. So I was like, all right, I have Prime, I'll get these in 2 days, so I'll be able to take the test, and hopefully it will say like positive or negative, like there should be a faint line. Anyways, so 2 days later, and like I said, it was still like a week before my period or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I knew I wasn't getting my period for a couple days. Finally got the test, and I took it that night that well, it was like that day, and there was nothing on the strip, like, at all. Well, that box comes with like 20 strips, so I was like, all right, like, I'll wait till morning, because they say your morning pee is like the best time to go. So I was like, all right, you know, the next morning I woke up literally at like 6 a.m. and I had to pee so bad, so I grabbed one of the strips and I took it, and it had a faint line on it. At least I thought. I was like, okay, that kind of looks like a faint line. Like, it wasn't like super bright, but it was there. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take some more. So I took like more, like 3 more, and they all looked like pretty much the same with like a little faint line. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I could be pregnant. So then over like the next 3 days, I took a strip every morning and it seemed to start getting darker and darker. But then I was like, maybe like it's my mind playing tricks on me, because they weren't like dark enough to say 100% like, yeah, I'm pregnant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to the store and I'm getting a test, because it was like about, you know, 5 days or less at this point before my missed period. And I took the test. I took 2 different tests. And the first one, like, I felt like it was maybe a positive, but it was so faint that, like, I don't know, I would have thought negative. But then the second one I took had a very faint plus sign and said positive, and I took that right there. Like, I didn't test after that. I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Like, I have to be, because with all those like test strips and then the actual test, I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And it was weird. Like I said, I always thought that I'd be the type of person to like freak out and get scared. But like, I'm at the point in my life where I was actually like, okay, like I'm pregnant. This is weird, but like I wasn't like scared, or I don't know, like something changed for sure. But yeah, it's definitely like a weird experience. Even like when I say like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, I'm like, what? It's very weird. But yeah, I kept it a secret obviously for a few days, and then I eventually started telling to a certain point. I didn't tell my family until 16 weeks, and that was only because my sickness was extreme, which I plan on making a whole video about like everything I went through and the things they don't tell you about being pregnant, and the things I didn't know that I had to go through, that I know I'm gonna go through, and things like that. But yeah, so I did end up going to the doctors because I was like, I still had faint lines on the test and I was sick of wasting pregnancy tests. So I went to the doctors, and it was funny because I was so early that my doctor was like, I'm actually not 100% sure if you're pregnant. I think you are, but I'm not sure, so I'm gonna send you to the hospital for a blood test. And then eventually they called me later that day and they were like, yeah, like you're pregnant. I was like, okay. But I was very early when I found out, and honestly, it was just like I knew. Like, I didn't really have any symptoms besides the pimples and the vivid dream, but I just like knew. It was so weird. It was wild. But yeah, so I went and they called and they said on the phone, they were like, yes, you're pregnant. We just wanted to confirm. I was like, okay. Felt so good to just like hear it and not just like think it, because even when you take a test, like you're like, but what if, you know? But yeah, I always wanted to keep my pregnancy like a secret until I was ready to tell people, and I was actually planning on telling like my friends and family around like 8-10 weeks. But I got extremely sick, and then I pushed it to 12 weeks, and then we had something happen in our family, and then I got so sick the next week that eventually the weeks just kept adding up, and I was 16 weeks, and that's when I told my family. And yeah, it went really well. They were all happy and stuff, but if I could change anything, I probably would have told them a little bit sooner. But honestly, the only reason I didn't was because of my situation, how sick I was. Like, I was miserable. I couldn't get out of bed. Like, there was days where I literally had to lay in bed and keep my eyes closed because noise and sound, well, pregnancy brain is already bad for me, but like the sounds and like light, my phone, everything just drove me crazy, and I couldn't do a lot. And I wanted to do something special for my parents and my siblings, because I am the firstborn and the first one to have a baby, and like my siblings are all still really young. My youngest brother is 9, so like I just wanted to do something really special, and that's why I waited so long, because I was like trying to feel good so I could tell them. But it all worked out really great, and it's been a crazy journey. But yeah, that's pretty much how I found out I was pregnant. I like to say that's how I knew I was pregnant, because I literally knew when I was like 3 weeks along. So that means that I pretty much knew inside my soul that I was pregnant only after like literally a few days after conceiving, which is so mind-blowing. Like, our bodies, women's bodies, are just freaking amazing. But yeah, that's how I found out, and tomorrow, actually, I'm filming this video so late. I wanted to film it weeks ago, but you know, sick. But we find out tomorrow the gender, so I'm gonna be recording and filming that, and hopefully I can edit and get it up, and I'm just so excited. This has been a crazy experience, but yeah, I'm pregnant, so. So my channel might be changing a little bit, because I definitely do want to share this stuff for myself and anybody that wants to listen. But that's all for today. I am going to go get my stuff done now, and yeah, and I will be wearing my little C-bands in all my videos because they help me from not getting nauseous. But that's it for today. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.